Welcome to another edition of Maryland's Missing and the Murdered. I am Kara Stone, and this week we have the case of a missing boy from Brentwood, Maryland. George Junior Burdynski was born on July 29, 1982, to George and Barbara Burdynski. Junior had 3 siblings, Fred, Virginia, and Gary. Junior was described by a neighbor as, quote, a little hustler, end quote, doing odd jobs around the neighborhood and mowing lawns. I spoke with Junior's sister, Virginia, about her brother, and she described him as her hero from when she was a kid until this day. Quote, Junior was always helping me, looking out for my best interests, end quote. On May 24, 1993, Junior came home from school and asked his mother if he could help mow his neighbor's lawn. Junior was last seen by his mother getting on his red bicycle and heading to his neighbor, Robert Violet's house. Junior never returned home that evening. Junior's mom called the police, and it started the most extensive search in Prince George's County's history. The police questioned Robert Violet, who said that Junior never arrived at his house. However, witnesses claimed to have seen Junior outside Violet's home. Other witnesses claimed that he was last seen biking around the neighborhood at 8:30 p.m. The only thing found of the bicycle was the rim, which was found at a tennis court 3 blocks from Junior's house. While searching for Junior, the authorities came across a pedophile sex ring that involved several men from the area: James Kowalski, Joseph Lynch, and Stephen Leake. Detectives discovered that these individuals had been sexually abusing boys in the area for over a 25-year period. In fact, they had sexually abused 2 of Junior's friends the weekend before Junior disappeared. James Kowalski, the so-called ringleader, had befriended many neighborhood boys, buying them expensive gifts, tutoring them, taking them on camping trips, etc. Many of his neighbors had found it odd, with one confronting him about it. Kowalski told him to mind his own business. Junior's friends would hang out with Kowalski, with Junior tagging along to Kowalski's house to play video games and a trip to the swimming pool. Gloria Pettit, a good friend and neighbor of Kowalski's, assured the Burdynskis that Kowalski was trustworthy. One evening, when Kowalski did not return Junior at his house at the scheduled time, the Burdynskis told Junior that he could not hang out with Kowalski again. The Burdynskis told the Washington Post that they felt it was strange that a grown man was giving expensive gifts to children, and they told Junior to stay away from him. When Kowalski was taken into custody, the police questioned him at length about Junior. Kowalski claimed that he barely knew Junior and did not know he was missing. However, when the police went through the extensive videotapes that were in Kowalski's house, they discovered news footage of Junior's disappearance. Junior also was in several videos that Kowalski had taken, but none were of the sexual nature. Kowalski, Lynch, and Leake all were charged with various sex crimes against children. Kowalski's neighbor, Gloria Pettit, was charged with lying to police. She lied to investigators about the last time she saw Junior. She claimed that Kowalski had asked her to lie. Less than a year later, Pettit's charges were dropped. In a plea agreement, Kowalski was obligated to provide all information that he had regarding Junior's disappearance. According to police, Kowalski was cleared in Junior's disappearance after passing a polygraph. He was sentenced to 213 years in prison. Lynch and Leake were convicted of lesser charges. Lynch has been released from prison according to news articles. I'm assuming Leake has also been released, as his name did not appear in the Maryland or Virginia inmate locator search. I asked Virginia Burdynski about the neighbor, Robert Violet, whose house Junior was heading to, and Virginia advised me that the investigators cleared him. When asked what Virginia believed happened to her brother Junior, she said, quote, I believe James Kowalski, Stephen Leake, Joseph Lynch, Kevin Helton, and Steve Wilkerson were all involved in raping the group of boys from Brentwood, and Junior would blow the whistle. Maybe he saw something he wasn't supposed to, and that's why he's not here. Maybe he was lured away. I honestly can't answer because I do not know, but I will say those particular individuals are involved." End quote. I asked Virginia about Kevin Helton and Steve Wilkerson, as they did not appear to be mentioned in any news article I read on her brother's case, and here's what she said. Quote, "The investigators want to re-interview Kevin Helton. His story doesn't collaborate with an individual he was with the night of my brother's kidnapping. The investigators are unable to locate him. They claim he is homeless and without an address. Steve Wilkerson was much older than the other kids, and it was believed that he was in charge of gathering up the young boys to introduce to Kowalski and the rest of the pedophiles. He's in jail now in Huntington, I believe." End quote. Virginia has never given up looking for her older brother, Junior. I asked her if the investigators give her and her family updates regularly on Junior's case, and she said, quote, "No, I have to inquire myself." End quote. I would like to thank Junior Burdynski for talking with me. If you have any information regarding the disappearance of George Junior Burdynski, please contact the Prince George's County Police Department at 301-772-4925. I will have another case for you next week. If you'd like to get in touch with me, please email me at marilynsmissing@gmail.com.